Hi guys, today we're going to be planting up the 4 big blue pots in the backyard, and I've already come in and cleaned everything out. I've recharged the soil a little bit by adding some organic potting mix and some Biotone starter fertilizer, but I didn't clean the entire containers out and put in a whole fresh batch of soil because we're coming into winter, and I'm going to put some evergreens in here and just kind of winter them over and then figure out where in the landscape I want to plant them. And then in the spring, when I pull them out, I'll just put them back in the landscape, and then I'll dump the entire pot of soil and start fresh. But because it's winter, whatever I put in here, shrub or evergreen or perennial, it's not really going to be growing too much and utilizing a lot of the nutrients in like a fresh batch of soil. So just a quick refresh, some soil, some starter fertilizer, and I think they'll be good to go for the entire season. So let me show you what I'm thinking I'm going to do here, because I'm just going to kind of keep it very simple and clean, because all season long we had the Super Tunia Vista bubblegum and the Plain the Blue salvia and the sweet potato vine, and those things were huge and massive and bright and colorful. So I think for the fall and winter season, I just want to keep it very clean, very simple, and pretty much monochromatic. So let me show you what I'm thinking. So I've got over here the 2 whipcord arborvitaes, which have been in their containers all season long, and they are a little stressed out. They're not looking their best. This one is actually looking better than this one. And then I've got 2 of the green velvet boxwoods that I pulled from the front yard, and I decided to use these 2 because they're in smaller containers. They're in 2-gallon containers versus the rest of the ones over here that are in 3-gallon containers. I figured those are in bigger containers. They're a little bit more insulated. So I pulled these 2, and especially this one, because this was one of the ones that was buried under the butterfly bushes in the front yard, so it didn't get too much sun. So that's why it's kind of looking a little peaked. But I'm going to use those 2 arborvitaes, those 2 I can't talk. So I'm going to use these 2 boxwoods and these 2 arborvitaes, and I'm going to plant them in these lovely containers. And these are all cleaned out. There's fresh soil in the top 4 or 5 inches with some Biotone starter fertilizer, as I said. And I think I'm going to put the 2 boxwoods here and the 2 arborvitaes here, and probably dot them, one on each 4 corners of the patio right over there. And I've got some really pretty, like orangey yellow apricot-y pansies, and I may put them, like underplant them underneath the boxwoods and the arborvitaes, and maybe put in a couple of the leftover pine cones that I had from foraging at my old high school. All right, so I'm going to get set up and plant these 4 shrubs in their winter homes, and then we'll see what I decide with the pansies and the pine cones, if I decide to use them or not. We'll see. All right, guys, here we go. guys, I got everything planted and watered in. Let me take you around and show you how it all looks. So from the back door coming out to the patio, right over to the left, I've got the whipcord arborvitae, and I did underplant it with the orange pansies and pine cones, and I kind of just alternated them. I thought I had 2 flats of pansies, but I only had 1. So to stretch it, I kind of just split each cell, had 2 plants in it, so I just kind of split them up and used them on all 4 pots. So it does look a little thinner right now, but in a couple weeks they'll fill up and bulk out a little bit. And this arborvitae, this poor thing, this was part of the clearance rack video. So it does look a little sad right now, but that's only because it's been in its container for way too long. So I think now that it's in some rejuvenated soil and it has a little bit more room to kind of stretch its roots, I think it's going to be a little bit happy, and we'll probably see it green up a little more. And then over here, I've got the boxwood pot, and I did the same underplanting over here with the pansies and the pine cones. And I think it's just a nice, sweet, clean little setup. And so I have the boxwood here, the arborvitae pot here, and I did the same thing on the opposite side. The boxwood is here, arborvitae here. We'll go take a look. Here's the other whipcord, and this one is definitely a lot bigger and fuller, and it's not as brown looking as the other one. But yeah, we've got some cute color in here. Look at that. I love that color. And the pine cones, I just kind of tucked them in there. There's really no fastening method. I think this was the one that had a wild, yeah, this is the one that had the wild branch that kind of nipped it off a little. But that's just a sweet little arrangement, which I kind of am liking now. It's just nice and soft and calming, especially after having those big, huge arrangements all season. So I'm going to leave this set up here for a couple days just to make sure I like it like this, or if I want to move like this boxwood over here and the arborvitae over here so they're both like in the same line on the same side. But once I decide on a final spot for these, we'll probably come in and take these casters off of the bottoms and just put in some of those black cushioned feet. And you know, I'm really happy with how these arrangements turned out. You know, we had, you know, these big, huge, robust arrangements in these pots all season long. So it's nice to kind of switch it up a little bit and just kind of put something a little calming and smaller and just a little peaceful, kind of like relaxes your focal point and your eyes a little bit. Anyways, thanks guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.